jangan gitu Mas.
Bisa masuk.
Nggak bisa saya Pak.
Mundur ke belakang, mundur, nggak bisa Mas.
Ayo.
Sudah ya.
Eder, how are you? Ada tangan.
How are you? Terima kasih.
Pakai tangannya. Pak, jalan aja dong Pak. Jalan aja Pak. Ayo, Heather. You want to say something, Heather? Heather. No. Okay, sudah. Yeah.
This is a
So you may remember this, right? Bali suitcase killer released from prison. An American woman convicted with her boyfriend of killing her mother and stuffing the body in a suitcase at the luxury Bali hotel is freed from prison. I remember that. Oh, okay. Nothing more to the article here, just that. But anyway, so she did 7 years in prison out of 10 years. Her boyfriend is doing 18 years. I believe they're from Chicago suburbs, something like that. And they were either vacationing in Bali. She has a baby also for the guy, and the two got together, killed her mother, her own mother, and put the body in a suitcase. Amazing. So she gets 7 years out of 10. She's lucky, because in Indonesia, they seem more interested in executing people for carrying drugs in the country, or carrying out drugs from the country, like drugs like what do you call it, heroin and so forth. That's what Indonesia is notorious for. But anyway, I thought I'd play this video. Bali suitcase killer released from prison. She's lucky. And it may have a lot to do with being a woman too. That's why she was able to get out that early. 7 years. Look at her boyfriend. Her boyfriend got 18 years. Here's the story here. Oh, let's see. Maybe I can read this. U.S. woman in Bali suitcase murder free from jail. This is from Denpasar, Indonesia. An American woman convicted of helping to kill her mother on Indonesia's tourist island of Bali in 2014 walked free from prison Friday after serving 7 years of a 10-year sentence and will be deported to the United States. The Bali beaten body of a wealthy Chicago socialite, Sheila von Wiese-Mack, 62, was found inside the trunk of a taxi parked at the upscale Regis Bali Resort in August 2014. Heather Mack, who was almost 19 and a few weeks pregnant, and her then 21-year-old boyfriend, Tommy Schaefer, were arrested a day later after they were found at a hotel about 10 kilometers, which is about 6 miles from the St. Regis. Police said the hotel CCTV showed the couple had argued with the girl's mother in the lobby of the hotel shortly before the killing, which is alleged to have taken place inside a room in the hotel. An Indonesian court sentenced Mack to 10 years in prison for assisting Schaefer in her mother's murder. How come it wasn't the other way around? The sentenced him for assisting. It looks like he was doing all the killing and she was just doing the helping, which may not be the case at all. And stuffing the body in a suitcase. Schaefer received an 18-year sentence. The daughter, Stella Schaefer, was born shortly before her parents were convicted in 2015. That's the same, yeah. That's the year I was in Indonesia. I went to Bali that same year. I remember 2015. Under Indonesian law, she was allowed to live with her mother in her cell in Karabokan female prison until she turned 2 years old. And Mack gave custody of her young daughter to an Australian woman until her release from prison. Mack and her mother had a troubled relationship, with officials confirming police had been called to the family's Oak Park, Illinois home dozens of times. In 2016, Robert Bibbs, a cousin of Schaefer, pleaded guilty to helping to plan the killing in exchange for $50,000 that Mack was expected to inherit. $50,000, that's not a lot of money to kill somebody, and was sentenced the next year to 9 years in prison. Mack, now 26, was escorted through a crush of reporters, so now she's a celebrity, outside the Karabokan female prison in Denpasar, the Bali provincial capital, into a waiting car that took her to an immigration office near Bali's international airport on Friday morning. Wearing a mask, sunglasses, and an immigration deportee's orange vest, she made no comment to reporters except to say, "Oh my God, you are insane," from behind the car's windows. A few of friends of Mack were seen welcoming her outside the prison, including Osha Putu Melody Suatama, an Australian woman married to a Balinese man who has been raising Stella. Mack's sentence was shortened by a total of 34 months due to reductions that are often granted to prisoners on major holidays because of their good conduct, including a 6-month remission of sentence awarded during Indonesia's Independence Day in August, said Lily, the prison chief warden, who goes by a single name. Lily said that Mack was entitled to the sentence reduction under Indonesian law for good behavior, and Mack also got involved in activities arranged by correctional officers, such as organizing fashion shows featuring designs by inmates and teaching them to dance. Yeah, I need to go to Bali to teach people how to dance in Bali, right? She described that Mack was a bit shocked, sad, and frightened when she was about to leave, but we all cheered her on and reassured her that everything would be all right. Heather used to say that prison has changed her life a lot. She loves Indonesia and the people who have surrounded her all these years. Lily said, "She will miss us so much and do so what we here." Let me just say something about that. She said she loves Indonesia. Bali ain't Indonesia, you know. Bali and Indonesia got nothing in common. Bali is mostly a Hindu place. Going back in history, I believe it belonged to a different kingdom, and then for some reason it became part of Indonesia. They're totally different. They dress very differently. You know, the men walk around in what looks like robes and so forth, the way they dress. They have their own language. They're definitely not Muslims, that's for sure. And they worship similar to like the Hindus. So, yeah, Bali is a nice place if you live there for a while. But if you go to like Jakarta or one of those other main cities like Banda Aceh in Indonesia, you will never say you love Indonesia because it's totally different. If you're a woman in Banda Aceh, there's the religious police checking to see how you're dressed. That's not the case in Bali. Bali, they have the freedom because it's so different. Mac will have to stay for a few days at the immigration detention center. Yeah, like she's gonna go run off somewhere while waiting for flight tickets and travel documents to be ready, said Amrizal, chief of the Bali Immigration Office for the Ministry of Law and Human Rights. Amrizal, who like many Indonesians uses only one name. Maybe that's a custom in Bali because I have a couple Indonesian friends and they use both names. You know, I don't know, but I don't have any friends in Bali, none that I recall. But let's say like many Indonesians who only uses one name. Right? Said his office was coordinating with the U.S. consulate in Bali on repatriating the mother and child. Mac has not seen her daughter for about 20 months because authorities halted prison visits during the coronavirus pandemic. But Indonesian laws allow for the reunion now that Mac has been released. Her attorney, Julius Benjamin Saran, said earlier that Mac had asked for the girl to remain with her foster family to avoid media attention. However, Amrizal said Indonesian regulations would not allow that. Minors must be accompanied by their mothers when their mothers are deported. There is no policy that allows a mother to leave her underage child here. And that's the report from Kamini, reported from Jakarta, Indonesia. Well, what are your thoughts? You killed your mother and you only get 7 years in prison? Something's wrong with that. She deserves more time in prison. Not 7 years. Mm-mm. Something's wrong with that picture.